Our first item today is this combination. It is a Les Bernard necklace and brooch, both signed by the designer. When I saw this combination, I went over to eBay and I looked up the comp. I immediately found a comp for just the necklace for $90. And I know that a brooch of a similar type could sell for about $40. I found 3 or 4 comps of similar brooches. I've shown one here on the screen. When I put those together, I came up with a sold comp of about $130. The shipping on this one was $13. When I added the other numbers into the smart bid calculator, I came up with a bid of $34. I did win this one, and this would give me a net profit of $54. Honestly, the second one drove me a little bit crazy. I saw this charming cuckoo clock brooch, and I really just wanted to buy it because I thought it was so adorable. I took a look at some of the characteristics. First of all, it's definitely vintage. It's marked sterling silver. It's from Germany. It has these enamel details. Also, it's really unique and different. I couldn't find another comp that was exactly like it, which sent me down a rabbit hole of searching and searching for something similar. So you can see on the screen that there's many other cuckoo clock brooches, but I couldn't find one that was exactly the same. I did find a maker's mark on the back of this brooch, which may indicate some extra value, but I still had to just do my best and take an educated guess. So because of that reason, I decided I would just go lowball on this one. I gave it a lowball comp of 100. I decided I would stop my bid at 34. The brooch actually went for 54. I really hope that whoever won this brooch gets a great deal on it because it is just so cute and charming. The lesson on this one, I'm really proud that I did not jump in and just buy it because it's cute. Also, just something to take into consideration. Depending on what kind of buyer you are and what kind of items you want to sell, jumping down those rabbit holes can take a lot of your time. If you enjoy that like I do, it's okay. But if you're looking to source quickly, sell quickly, you might want to limit the rabbit holes you jump down. Alexis Betar is a name that I've really started to look for. This bracelet I spotted and I thought, oh, I definitely want to check this one out. There were about 9 or 10 bids on it. I went over to eBay and I saw several bracelets that were similar. I didn't find the exact one, but similar enough that I felt good about comping this at $195. With that $195 comp, I decided my top bid would be $60. I did have 0 shipping on this one. You know how much I love that. And to my surprise, I actually won this bid. So for this one, my bid was $60. That includes the shipping. And I am looking at a $100 net profit on this one. I'm excited to get it and get it listed. This next one is a good cautionary tale. Sometimes it's really easy to get swept away by a certain designer's name and a little bit of information. So there are certain designers that I look for, and sometimes when I see that designer's name with a word like sterling silver, it's almost like, well, I'm just going to jump in and bid. But I've been trying to be more careful, especially now that I'm retired. And so I actually did my homework on this one. So Alice Cavanis is one of those designers. She has many items that sell for $150, $200. So I jumped on over to eBay to look for my sold comp, and unfortunately, or fortunately, I saw that the sold comp on her butterflies of this type with the sterling silver, the best sold comp I could find was about $30. So you can see where this is heading, right? The bid right now is at $22. The shipping was rather high at $14. Let's take a look at the smart bid sheet, and we see a loss of $9.31. Luckily, I did my homework ahead of time and I told myself to stop, and I did not place the bid. Now, in other videos, I've told you that my strategy is I usually want to look for at least a $50 profit, but sometimes you might see a $50 profit show up on my screen, but maybe I walk away, and you might wonder, well, why? So I wanted to explain this to you because I feel like it's an important part of the smart bid strategy. And I call this the cash lock. Here's the thing. If you have a limited sourcing budget, like most of us resellers do, unfortunately, we can't spend thousands and thousands of dollars sourcing every month. There's only so much cash that you can invest into products to resell. So for me, I have to be careful because I don't want to lock up too much of my cash in inventory. I don't get that money back until it sells. And although I know that most of my products are going to sell within a month to two, that still means that there's going to be a time period when that cash is locked up. So if I'm going to invest money into a product, I want to make sure I have a good return on my investment. So if you look at the screen, you'll see an example of two different bids that I might make. Now, this is a real example of this beautiful signer bracelet. And I could have bid a lot of money. I could have bid $70. The shipping was $14. The comp was $164. So I could have made this bid for a $53 profit. And you might think, well, Rachel, isn't that what you want? Well, no, because then I would be locking up $84. Now, locking up $84 for just a 49% return on investment, that doesn't work for me. However, I did decide that I would cap my bid at $54 because at that $54, I'm not locking up as much money, and also I have a much better return of 144%. Now, interesting fact, this bracelet actually sold for $103. So I really hope the buyer was not a reseller. I really hope the buyer is just someone who loved the bracelet and wanted to wear it for themselves.